The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that Allah does not look at your appearances or your wealth, but He looks at your hearts and your deeds. How many people have great value in Allah's sight, yet people do not know them or recognize them, while Allah boasts about them to the angels and is pleased with their deeds. Between them and Allah is something tremendous, yet they humble themselves before their Lord, hide their good deeds, and no one among people knows about them. People see them as ordinary individuals from the common folk with no weight in society. Meanwhile, another person among people may be noble, wealthy, or have a reputation and status, perhaps even advising others with people pointing to them and praising them. However, he may do this out of showing off or self-admiration, so he has no value with Allah, yet people magnify such individuals, marry from them, and listen to their words while they have no standing with Allah. Therefore, brothers, the Muslim should always not look at his status among people, but rather look at his state with Allah. Ask yourself, what am I in Allah's sight? What is my value with Allah? What is my worth with Allah? Unfortunately, many people nowadays are dominated by concern for what people think. In any behavior or interaction, they worry about what people will say about them. If I do such and such, people will say this or that. They want to be the best they can be among people. This does not mean that a person should not have status among people, but he should not strive for this or work for show. He should attach his heart to Allah. But look, in contrast, does he show this same level of concern in his relationship with Allah? As it came in some narrations, whoever wants to know what he has with Allah, let him look at what Allah has with him. If you want to know your value with Allah, look at the worth of Allah in your heart. Look at the greatness of Allah in your heart. The best manifestation of this is in prayer. In short, if you want to know your rank with Allah, your weight with Allah, look at the status of prayer in your heart. Look at your state in prayer. Look at how you achieve humility in your prayer. Do you find comfort and enjoyment in this prayer or not? Because this prayer is entering upon Allah, an intimate conversation between you and Allah. If you find pleasure, sweetness, and delight in this prayer, and you approach it with longing, and you magnify the importance of prayer, and you learn how the Prophet prayed, and how he achieved humility in prayer, you struggle with yourself for prayer, and feel that you are close to Allah, conversing with your Lord, humbling yourself before your Lord, and magnifying Allah in this prayer, then this indicates goodness in your heart, and that you are at a high rank with Allah, even if people do not care about you. In this regard, during the fighting against the Persians in the time of Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, when the companions were striving in the path of Allah, Umar was informed that one of the Muslims, Numan ibn Muqrin, may Allah be pleased with him, had been martyred. Some companions sent word that so-and-so Numan ibn Muqrin had been martyred, and so-and-so, and so-and-so, and others you do not know. Umar wept for the martyrdom of some of his close companions while reading, and others you do not know. He said, but Allah knows them. So it is not important that you be known among people. By Allah, even if people do not care about you, do not be distressed, do not be sad. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him, narrated that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, Paradise and hell argued. Hell said, in me are the tyrants and the arrogant. Paradise said, in me are the weak among people and the poor. So Allah judged between them. You, O Paradise, are my mercy. Through you I show mercy to whomever I will. And you, O Hell, are my punishment. Through you I punish whomever I will, and for each of you is what will fill it. This is how the Prophet tells us about this unseen matter that only Allah knows. This is known only through revelation. Paradise and hell argued and disputed. This is to be taken literally, not as metaphor or figure of speech. Hell said, in me are the tyrants and the arrogant. This is the characteristic of the people of hell, the tyrants and the arrogant. None enters hell except a man with a hard heart, a tyrant, and a wretched one, and the arrogant. For this reason, the Prophet said, he who has even an atom's weight of pride in his heart will not enter paradise. He explained pride as rejecting the truth out of arrogance and despising people. When one rejects the truth according to his whims, oppresses people and mocks people. Paradise said, in me are the weak among people and the poor. This is the characteristic of the people of paradise. Generally, the weak submit to the truth. They do not have pride in themselves that prevents them from following the truth, because one of the greatest obstacles to following the truth is the pride in souls. You find the weak, humble, poor person does not have pride, generally speaking, so he follows the truth, unlike the arrogant. When a person becomes impressed with his wealth, his status, his power, his possessions, pride creeps into his heart, so he becomes tyrannical, rejects the truth, does not humble himself before Allah, does not prostrate to Allah, and does not pray to Allah. For this reason, the problem is not in the wealth a person possesses. A person can have all the wealth in the world, but still be weak and humble through his modesty, forbearance, gentleness, and mercy toward Allah's servants. Therefore, reflect on how Allah said, "Indeed, man transgresses because he sees himself self-sufficient." He did not say, when he becomes wealthy, but rather, when he sees himself self-sufficient. There is a big difference. Blessed is righteous wealth for the righteous man, as the Prophet said. But the problem is when a person sees himself as self-sufficient from his Lord. That is the problem. When he sees himself self-sufficient, means when he sees himself as independent from Allah and from obedience to Allah through his wealth, his desires, his pleasures, his power, his status. Here he becomes arrogant and tyrannical. This is the state of the people of hell. As for the people of paradise, they never see themselves as self-sufficient from their Lord. Rather, they are poor and needy before Allah, desperate for Allah. Therefore, you find them humble with people, submissive. This applies to them as being weak even if they are wealthy with money. Allah judge between them. You, O paradise, are my mercy. Through you I show mercy to whomever I will. And you, O hell, are my punishment. Through you I punish whomever I will, and for each of you is what will fill it. Allah will fill paradise and hell. As established in the Hadith, when the Prophet heard a sound, he said, "This is a stone thrown into hell 70 autumns ago, and it has been falling, until now it reached its bottom." As established in the Hadith, Allah will say to hell, "Are you filled?" And it will say, "Is there more?" The Prophet said, "Then the compeller will place his foot upon it, and it will contract, and it will say, 'Enough, enough.' This is how it will be filled. As for the people of paradise, Allah will create for it a creation who did not do anything in the worldly life, and He will enter them into paradise until it is filled. This is Allah's favor. He gives to whomever He wills. We ask Allah to enter us into paradise and to make us among the people of paradise. We ask Allah to forgive us, our parents, and all the believing men and women, the living and the dead. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, and may Allah's peace and blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad and upon his family and all his companions.